the women's basketball team, they were having a training session in Germany and they had an 8-hour bus ride. Would the men do an 8-hour bus ride? What's happening here? I must have a military, if not, my name is lost. It starts from there. If the person is not capable, then that's different. The girls have actually won more than the guys. It is what it is.
I'm Dr. Somawina. Welcome to the Purple Diaries, the Policy Innovation Center's podcast series that takes a deep dive into the conversations and dialogues that happened at the Gender and Inclusion Summit 2025. Over the course of this podcast series, I'll be sitting down with some really amazing individuals to talk about the future of sustainable development and really challenge the way that we see the world. So join the conversation, and if you like what you hear, leave us a comment, share, subscribe, and see you soon. Thank you.
Hi, Kelechi.
My leader. I greet you.
And welcome
We are
to
together.
the Purple Diaries podcast.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
So, you're an advocate for
course.
women in sports.
Of course.
I
For
know.
women's rights in general.
Women's rights. So he for she.
100%.
Talk to me. I know there's a story behind that. I want to hear it. So what led you into that path? How did you become this he for she in sports specifically?
I mean, we in this time and age, although it's improving, women's sports have been relegated to some sort. There's lack of funding. In fact, how do I put it now? Without getting into much trouble, but they're not treated the same as the men.
Yeah, not.
Yeah, 100%. I was going to give you another example, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
But I mean, I noticed that. I mean, apart from women being treated differently, I'll give you an example. Favor Fili that just moved to Turkey, that changed her nationality to Turkish nationality. She was discriminated against twice. I think one was in the Tokyo Olympics, and then the last Olympics she wasn't entered. So you can't blame her for switching her nationality, and she's still Nigerian, but she's not running for another country. So it gives you a glimpse of what women go through sometimes.
So, but I know some people would then immediately ask, was she discriminated against because she was a woman, or was she discriminated against because she was Nigerian?
No. I mean, it's our own people that did not enter her for the tournament. It's our own Nigerian people.
Okay.
So I don't know what else to say.
But you get what I'm trying to say.
And I get what you're trying to say.
Somebody could immediately argue, was it because she was a woman that they did that, right?
I've not seen them do it to a man before. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So she wasn't entered. I mean, I did so much content on it that time because we're all upset. Like, she's one of our medal hopefuls. Why isn't she entered for this tournament? I mean, is it that the powers that be, are not happy with her, or she done anything wrong before, she stepped on toes before, so you don't know. That doesn't mean that other women were not entered for other tournaments or other races, but her own particularly, raised red flags, and it was the second time, not the first time. First time, fine. Second time, you're like, We've been there when, I think the last Olympics as well, during the training session, the women's basketball team, they were having a training session in Germany, and they had an 8-hour bus ride to the next location to do training. And I'm like, would the men do an 8-hour bus ride?
They would
fly. Exactly. So you look at it like, okay, what's happening here? Is there a systematic thing going on here? Is it that it's when the women are succeeding, when they are winning, we now come, hey, now our people. When they are losing, I'll give you an answer. I was at the AFCON, the WAFCON, the women's AFCON. I was there throughout the tournament. I said, man, I went to support them. When I got into camp, they were just so happy to see me because, yes, I have a platform and I root for them, but I was present. When they were dancing into the stadium or, we come in with the vibe, sometimes they take my stuff off office, that's all. But I encourage them. And at the end of the tournament, Ashley Plumter, the left back, the one who called Oyibo, she hugged me, she was crying. She was like, thank you for using your platform. I felt that. They're seeing it. One of them, the number 10, Ochebe, gave me her medal, like symbolic, like put it on my head, like you said, you deserve the medal. Because I was there, I was present, I was telling their stories. You understand? And you look at it, you begin to wonder if they didn't win that trophy, if they didn't, how do I put it? If they didn't like raise the hopes of women in Nigeria, they would have probably flown Air Maroc back on a commercial jet, no private jet or no jet would have been sent to them, And people started, recognizing them when they got to the semi-final. Everyone started showing support.
Nothing succeeds like success.
When they were playing, those girls were playing without a training kit. They were playing with their full kit. They were training with a full kit. You train with your training kit. The training kit was in customs in Morocco. It wasn't released until the semi-final day. Yeah, exactly. So these are the things, and you're wondering if it was the men, maybe it would have been prioritized. I don't know. I'm not involved in that politics.
Let's talk about this a bit more, right? And I'm playing devil's advocate here. Don't get me wrong. You know which side of this. You know what WhatsApp group I'm in, right? But let's play devil's advocate for a moment, right? Some people would say, and I think it's like a chicken and egg kind of situation, that the reason why women's football doesn't get funded is women's football doesn't get the viewership and doesn't make the money, right? So if it's not going to get the viewership and make the money, why should we fund it, right? But it's like, is it not getting the viewership and making the money because you guys are not already, you guys didn't fund it proper? You get what I'm saying?
I get what you
say.
You understand? I cannot tell a company how to spend its money. They have their ROIs that they're looking at and everything, but we have to invest. And if we want to make it great and good like the men, we actually have to invest. It's not every time that you look at ROI. So I get it. You have your own yardstick that you want to do.
But is it true in the first place, right? Should we be arguing, or the reason why it's not getting the attention and the viewership is because you guys aren't funding it the way you're funding it for the men?
Of course.
Like if you put
funding
the money in, fund it first.
Yeah, whatever you put in, PIC is what it is today because they put something in and they're giving us a great spectacle. If you don't put it, if you don't feed it, nothing is going to come out. That's the truth. And just if the girls are playing well, they play good football. In fact, the girls have actually won more than the guys. In national, when we say nationally now, national laurels, they've won more, way more. So if they're your pride, that's why I like what the president did. It's not, I'm not trying to be political or anything, and he rewarded them handsomely. That came as a huge surprise because it's never been done.
And set an example.
Yeah, it's a huge example. In as much as at the back of your mind, you're thinking, okay, how do we fund this though? Like $100,000 per person. You're looking at it like, okay, but it's a good gesture because these guys have suffered for it. But again, it opens another paradox. The former women that played, the former girls that played in national team be like, yo, we're not recognized. Yo, we also brought laurels to the nation. Yo, so it opens another paradox. But that's for them to start out. But I was happy that they were rewarded handsomely, for their exploits. But we still have so many challenges. We still have so many barriers to break. We still have the family barriers whereby a dad or a mom want their daughter to play football or play sports. Oh, it will make him look like make her look like a man. That's their thing.
So it's just the fact that it will make you look
like a man. We don't want to them their parents to the public. I don't know. They kind of hold them back. But when they now see that. It's like in every home that maybe the girl now did strong and I went to play, but he's not succeeding. My daughter, but the person has not gone global. Or like one of them in London, I was speaking to him and I've been speaking to him every time. I'm like, yo, your kid can play football. There's nothing wrong with it. And then he's like, no, he's giving me excuses. But when he now saw that the president rewarded the girls, 100,000, like, but money did this thing, And I started laughing like, no, money there. Obviously, there's more money in the men's game, like if they are your any salary and stuff from the club, than the women's game. Like the disparity is much. That's where it goes to the sponsorship and everything. But national level, I mean, the president, did quite well to reward them, and that changed a lot of perspective. So I just believe that if sports is properly funded, that's what unites the country. To be honest. That sports, that national team, that's what unites the country. Everybody will come together. Nobody cares. They're hugging each other. If you fund it properly, then we'll see a lot of great things happen. And I'm just happy that the women won the WAFCON, the girls won the Afro Basket. It's shown more light to women's sports as well. And I'm sure that it ministered to some parents to tell them that, no, your kids can do this as well.
I'm so proud of them, quite honestly. And thank you for the work that you do. Thank you for being there. I know that for some of them, you might not even know it. That was probably the first time that they were seeing a man publicly in their corner supporting them.
I'm sure
So,
that men
yeah.
have done it,
Yeah.
but I just go all in,
Yeah.
I'm like, with stories need to be told. Sometimes I can just wake up and maybe a Nigerian player is playing somewhere. I just go and I just call you, yeah, I'm coming to see you play today. And that's it. After, okay, bye-bye. I've shown my own support. So when my sister was in Arsenal at the time, I used to live in Leeds. I'll just take a train down, watch her. When she won her first trophy, I was there. I gave her my Nigerian scarf.
But so and I want us to talk a little bit about this, because when you said that somebody gave you her medal and she was crying and all of that. I know that to you you're like, I can do it, and I still want to talk a bit about where that attitude came from. I want to drill down on that. You just thought, it's something I do, I can do it. But what I'm trying to bring out here is that for many women, right? You have a father, you have brothers, you have a boss, you have... What a lot of us don't realize is sometimes what you saw as just, this is just...
No, I didn't say it like that, funny enough.
Okay.
I just said, I believe in gratitude is a must.
Okay.
If I finish from here now,
But
I'm
trying to talk about that emotional reaction.
From me, no. I was happy with it. It made me feel that what I'm doing is actually impactful and important.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
But I also know that gratitude, for me, that's how I rate people.
Okay.
Gratitude is actually a must. If I finish from here, I'll thank everybody. Thank you guys for having me. I'm off.
It's a
That's
good
gratitude.
attitude, yeah.
If you're not giving gratitude, you're not going anywhere. Most of the things I've achieved in this life is gratitude.
But the point I'm trying to make really is that for many women, seeing a man on their side, seeing a man support them, for some of them is a first. And no pressure. I'm not trying to put pressure on you, but I think what I'm trying to bring out, not just for you, but even our viewers, is that things like that are deep. They are deeper than we know. If you've never had a father, never had a brother, never had a boss actually support you, having someone like you show up, stay the entire time and watch them win, and even being there whether they were going to lose, is big. So the work you do is big. That's the point I'm trying to make. So thank you. Thank you. But I want to talk a bit more about this. Why women? Like, you could have been supporting men.
No, that doesn't mean that I don't support men.
I know, but taking that stance and being very much, I'm here for the women.
Everything starts from how someone was brought up. I was brought up in a home where we are taught to respect women right from young. I was brought up in a home where my mom was any more than my dad. It was clear. Do you understand? Not that he was doing his civil service job, bam, earning his money, doing well. My mom was doing civil service, but also on the side doing cake, decoration and stuff. So
also an entrepreneur.
So she had more money. You understand? So and I never saw my dad discriminate against my mom. Do you understand? So that's it.
So it starts from the family.
Exactly. So everything starts from family. The way you were shaped. That's what I was telling them in my panel session. It starts from, you said before you even have a family as an individual. That's from you not thinking, I must have a male child, if not my name is lost. It starts from there. Before even the family equity we are talking about. It's the mentality that you have to work on. So that's where it started. And when you look at, I believe that women make better leaders, personally. I'll give you an example. During COVID,
you can have all the time. Take
no,
all the time.
don't
rush yourself.
No. If not, I'll lose mention of stuff.
Talk to me.
The 5 countries that handled COVID were the top 5. Were all led by women.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what are we saying then? You understand? So why discriminate against them? If I can lead, they can lead. It's a no-brainer. They have the same thinking that I have. They are all human. So that's why when people discriminate, I never understand it at all. It doesn't make sense to me. If the person is not capable, then that's different. If the person is not competent, then that's different. But because of the person's gender, you're discriminating, then you're like, what's happening here? You understand? So that's how it started. From, again, you're shaped from your family. And you grow to respect women. Women win. You can have a woman as your boss. You can't have. You respect the person 100%. You understand? So yeah, that's how it started.
Okay, so I would like to talk a little bit more about. There was a comment you made when you were talking about parents releasing their children, and one of the reasons why they didn't want to release them, or why they hesitate to release them, because they think, oh, it will make them more masculine. And the first question that came to my mind is, do you mean more masculine in their physique because of the training, or more masculine in the perception of society? What exactly do you mean?
I'm going towards the physics side.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the impression I get from people on the ground.
Okay.
You know, some parents that I speak to, and I'm like, no, this person could be the next big star. And bro, trust me, you just retire and you'll be good, bro. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to convince them, bro. You'll be good. You'll be happy how manager find out. Because I see parents of athletes now, you know, they are helping their kids. Because these guys are earning, like say for male footballers, you're earning 200K a week, bro.
And this is dollars?
Pounds. And then you're like, what is your dad doing he can be working, but you have to help you manage your finance. Because if it enters your head, you just fleece the money on club and stuff. So you see parents now, you know, guiding them, not that they are commanding them or anything, but guiding them, helping them invest this money, you know, for the future. So, yeah, that's the way I try to convince them that, you see other women doing it, they're winning laurels, they're making a name for themselves, and they're helping you impact on your name as well. So why not just support them? I know it's a huge ask, because you have to drive kids to the training, you have to stay, maybe you're coming from work, it has a training by it's a lot of sometimes you see mothers do it, maybe they are stay-at-home moms, or they are maybe working from home moms, and then they do it, and then their dad maybe does on the weekend sometimes, but they kind of share it and balance it out, you know. So I just encourage parents to, you know, support their children in whatever they want to do. There are no gender-specific roles or sports or what do you call them now? Walk of life or whatever that they want to do. Once they are the best at it and they're making impact, then why not go for it?
Okay. So would you say, you know, in your experience, in terms of when you first got into this compared to now, that in terms of just society's perceptions about, you know, women in sports, is it getting better?
Of course, it's getting better with more. See, like, I watch Arsenal women a lot, and you see that, yes, the tickets.
I'm not talking about you in particular. I'm talking
in general,
about
of course, that's what I mean. Although the tickets are cheaper than the men's, but the stadium is getting full. Before, they used to be full. Now it's getting full. So you can see that narratives are changing. And again, with more victory, more laurels being won, you know, you see that the narratives are beginning to change. So with more games being on TV as well, because they need to be on TV like that. With more games being on TV now, people are beginning to, accept that this can work. And yeah, I see the change.
So last question. What do you think? Where are the gaps? Where would you say that there are still gaps? You know, what can we do better when it comes to women in sports?
Funding, more research, because women, again from football side, women are more susceptible to have ACL injuries than the men. Yes, so we need to do that research. Like I've been at a game like this, women 2 ACL injuries in one match. I was like, I was tearing my hair out. I'm like, yeah, why? You understand? So more funding, more research. We need to be purposeful as well. You know, I was reading somewhere yesterday. I was there for yesterday. The Manchester United women's team went for a game, and on their way back, the return flight they booked for them had so many stopovers, and they didn't want to stop over, so they asked them to fund themselves back home. That won't happen under the men, and then they're complaining.
So
like,
it's not just Nigeria.
No, well, technically, yes. So not like, and even the Manchester United, for instance, the women's team only started like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Arsenal, for instance, the club I support, we've been doing women's football since 1990. Like, we've been supporting women's football since. So the same way we treat men, that's the same way we fly them, you know, in the same type of jets and stuff, weights, and fly them back. So when I saw them, I was surprised. Like,
So funding, research.
Funding, research, treating people's sexes the same, technically affording them the same kind of resources. When it comes to the money side, you know, like you said, depends on what is being brought in and what is the yardstick of the earning. So the men and the women earn differently, and trust me,
Closing that gap.
they're closing the gap as much as possible. You understand? So yeah.
Okay. It's been a pleasure talking with you.
Thank you so much.
I've learned much more about sports than I knew before this conversation started. And hopefully our viewers know a bit more about women in sports and have an attitude change towards that. Thank you, Kelechi.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure.